Hello everyone, this is your friend Naruto Fix, and we are back with another epic What If Naruto fanfic. Which is, what if Naruto was trained by the Akatsuki before becoming Hokage? If you love Naruto fanfics, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey with me. So, let's start the fanfic. The world would remember this night forever. The Hokage monument burned crimson under storm clouds, thunder shaking the mountain as a 12-year-old Naruto Uzumaki ran through the forest, alone, injured, hunted. His breath came in sharp bursts, his hands trembling, and his heart pounding louder than the rain hammering the trees. Behind him, masked Anbu sprinted silently. They weren't protecting him, they were chasing him, because tonight, Konoha had learned a truth they never should have uncovered. Naruto carried more than just the 9 tails. Deep inside him, sealed beneath layers of chakra, was a remnant of the Sage of 6 Paths' ancient power. A fragment that had awakened prematurely. And when it flared, the village panicked. The council issued an order. Greater than capture the boy. By any means necessary. But Naruto didn't understand any of this. All he knew was that the people he trusted now wanted to bind him, cage him, weaponize him. He ran until the forest floor turned to mud and shadows swallowed the moonlight. His foot slipped, he fell, and an Anbu kunai grazed past his cheek. Don't resist, Naruto Uzumaki, the masked captain commanded. The village needs you contained. Naruto's fists clenched. Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything. Quote, you are too dangerous to walk freely. Naruto stepped back, fear rising like a wave. For the first time in his life, he felt exactly like the villagers always whispered. A monster. Just as the Anbu closed in, the world went silent. A cold wind blew across the forest. A ripple of dark chakra crawled over the ground like ink spreading on paper. And then, a man stepped out of the shadows, wearing a black cloak with red clouds. His eyes glowed like a dying ember. Itachi Uchiha. The Anbu froze, shock slicing through the tension. You're not authorized in this sector, one stammered. Itachi didn't answer. He didn't need to. A second figure appeared behind Naruto, tall, with blue skin and a massive bandaged sword resting lazily on his shoulder. Kisame Hoshigaki. Naruto stared, confused, terrified, but also, mesmerized by the aura of power around them. Itachi looked down at him calmly. Uzumaki Naruto, we've been waiting for you. Naruto staggered back. Why? What do you want? Kisame grinned, shark-like. Kid, if we wanted you dead, you wouldn't be talking right now. Quote, Itachi raised one hand, Sharingan swirling. The village will never understand your power. But we can teach you to control it. The Anbu captain shouted, don't listen to them. They're Akatsuki, criminals. Quote, Itachi's voice remained soft, almost gentle. Criminals to some, but to you, perhaps the only ones who can help you survive what you carry. Naruto's heartbeat thundered. The Anbu moved. Itachi blurred. A single genjutsu dropped half the squad instantly. Kisame laughed and slammed Samehada into the ground, sending the rest scrambling. The forest shook. Silence followed. Naruto's breath trembled as he stared at the 2 legendary rogue shinobi. Why save me? Itachi kneeled, eye to eye with him. Because, Naruto, you're standing at a crossroads. Go back, and they will chain you. Come with us, and you will learn why the world fears your potential. Quote, Naruto hesitated, cold rain dripping into his eyes, memories of insults and isolation replaying in his mind. Konoha never protected him. Konoha never trusted him. And tonight, Konoha tried to imprison him. Naruto swallowed hard. Where will you take me? Kisame chuckled. To the one who sent us. Naruto's voice cracked. Who? A shadow appeared in the rain behind them. Long spiky orange hair, Rinnegan glowing like twin storms. Black piercings shimmering in the lightning flash. Pain, leader of the Akatsuki. His voice echoed like a god's decree. Uzumaki Naruto, come with us. I will show you the truth of this world. Quote, Naruto stared into those godlike eyes. And stepped forward. The moment Naruto's foot touched the ground beside Pain, his destiny split from the village forever. This was the night the hero of Konoha began training with the world's greatest criminals. And the night, the future Hokage, was born in darkness. The rain fell harder as Naruto followed Pain and the cloaked figures deeper into the forest. Every step he took toward them felt like stepping away from everything he had ever known: Konoha, the academy, Iruka-sensei, even the dream of becoming Hokage. Yet, something inside him pushed him forward. Something ancient, something restless. As they walked, Itachi glanced at him quietly, analyzing every movement, every breath, as if studying a puzzle he already knew the answer to. Kisame walked behind Naruto, humming some eerie, shark-like tune while dragging the massive Samehada casually across the wet leaves. Naruto finally spoke, his voice trembling. "Where are we going?" Pain didn't turn around. His voice cut through the rain. "To the hidden rain. Our base. Your training will begin there." "Training? What training?" Itachi exchanged a glance with Pain, a silent acknowledgement that the time had come to reveal the truth. Pain stopped walking. Naruto bumped lightly into his back. Rain streamed down Pain's piercings, dripping off his chin like liquid silver. "You carry the 9 tails. That we always knew." Naruto swallowed. "But you also carry something deeper, a latent power from the Sage of 6 Paths. Something only awakened in moments of extreme emotional stress." Naruto blinked. "What do you mean?" Itachi stepped closer, his eyes glowing faintly. "The flash of power you released in the village, that surge of chakra that terrified the elders, it was not the Kyuubi. It was something older." Pain raised his hand toward Naruto's stomach, where the seal lay hidden beneath his clothes. "Your body is a vessel of 2 legacies," Pain said, "the demon fox, and the sage." Naruto staggered back. I don't understand. If that's true, why didn't the Hokage tell me? Why didn't anyone?" Kisame laughed. "Kid, villagers love weapons, but only the ones they control. You're a weapon that might choose its own target." Naruto clenched his fists. "A weapon, a monster, unstable," words he'd always heard whispered behind him. Itachi's tone softened. "You were never going to be accepted, Naruto. They fear what they cannot control." Pain turned and continued walking. "Come, once we reach our base, we will teach you to control every drop of power inside you. And once you control it, no one in this world will be able to cage you again." Naruto's heart pounded with something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope mixed with danger. The Hidden Rain Village, Akatsuki Base. They arrived hours later, under a sky that never stopped raining. Towering structures pierced the clouds, metal pipes hissing, steam rising from vents like the breath of a giant creature. The village felt alive, watching, listening. Naruto followed Pain through a dim corridor into a large room lit by paper lanterns. And in that room stood the most dangerous shinobi the world had ever known. Deidara leaned against a wall, Claybird perched on his shoulder. Sasori sat motionless, puppet husk silent but alert. Conan floated gently from above, paper sheets drifting around her like feathers. Naruto froze, breath catching. He was surrounded by S-rank criminals. By legends. By nightmares. Deidara smirked. "So this is the kid, the one we're risking our necks for." Sasori clicked his wooden fingers. "He's smaller than I expected. Weak looking." Conan stepped closer, her eyes surprisingly gentle. "Power isn't always visible, Sasori. The boy has potential." Naruto gulped. I don't get it. Why would all of you want to train me? What do you gain?" Pain spoke firmly. "Because your power threatens the balance of this world. Because nations will fight over you. Because you will either become a god, or a force that destroys everything." His Rinnegan pulsed. "We would rather shape you than destroy you." Itachi stood behind Naruto and placed a hand on his shoulder. "And because, you deserve to know what true power feels like." Naruto didn't know why, but Itachi's touch felt reassuring, like a silent promise that he wasn't alone. Pain raised his hand. "Your training begins now." The first test, embracing pain. Naruto was led to a circular chamber with symbols etched into the floor. Rainwater dripped from pipes onto the cold metal. Pain stood on one side. Naruto on the other. Pain's voice echoed. "Show us the power you used earlier. The power that frightened Konoha." Naruto shakily raised his hands. I don't know how to do it. It just happened." Pain nodded. Then we will make it happen. Quote. He raised his hand, and Naruto felt an invisible force crush into his chest. He flew backward, slamming into the metal wall. The entire Akatsuki watched silently. Naruto gasped, pushing himself to his knees. Why are you hurting me? Pain replied without emotion. To awaken your true self. He raised his hand again. Naruto dodged, barely, but the gravity surge still caught his leg, twisting it painfully. He screamed. Conan flinched. Itachi's expression hardened. But pain didn't stop. Pain teaches. Pain reveals. Pain awakens. Naruto's vision blurred. His heart raced. His breathing turned ragged. Something inside him clawed to be released. A swirling vortex of ancient chakra. Pain stepped forward, calm, merciless. Awaken it, Naruto. Awaken what Konoha feared. Naruto's fingers dug into the metal floor. His body trembled. His eyes widened. And then, the air cracked. Black and gold chakra exploded around him like a storm swallowing the chamber. The lanterns shattered. The metal shook violently. The entire base trembled as if the world itself recoiled. Pain stepped back, shocked. Itachi's eyes widened. Kisam's grin grew. Naruto stood in the center, breathing hard, surrounded by a chakra so dense it distorted the air. His eyes burned with a glow neither human nor demonic. Something in between. Something divine. Something terrifying. Pain whispered. So it is true. Naruto looked around, panting, glowing with unstable power. What is happening to me? Itachi stepped forward. Your real training begins now. Naruto stood in the center of the training chamber, breathing heavily as the storm of black gold chakra slowly receded around him. The metal walls were twisted and cracked. The ground beneath his feet was scorched. The air smelled like ozone, burnt iron, and raw power. The entire Akatsuki stared, not with mockery, not with greed, but with something far more chilling. Respect. Itachi broke the silence first, stepping closer with slow, measured steps. Your chakra, it's unlike anything I've ever felt. Even the Kyuubi alone could not produce this distortion. Kisame burst into laughter. Ha, kid, if you fought me with that, same Hada would explode from joy. Deidara grinned maniacally. Art, true art, beauty in destruction, Sasori clicked his puppet joints, analyzing. He could level a small village in seconds. Conan watched Naruto carefully, her paper wings shifting. And yet he barely understands what he unleashed. Pain walked forward until he stood directly in front of Naruto. The Rinnegan glowed. This power, it is not the Nine Tails. Nor is it ordinary chakra. It is something that predates shinobi history. A remnant of the sage's divine energy. Naruto trembled, gripping his arms. Stop saying I'm something special. I don't want this. I just want to be strong enough to be acknowledged. Pain lowered his head slightly, not in anger, but in understanding. That is why you must learn from us. He raised his hand. Naruto flinched. But Pain didn't attack. A soft gravitational pull lifted Naruto gently from the ground, steadying his chakra. Your emotions are the trigger, Pain said. Loneliness, anger, fear, rejection. These shape your chakra into something ancient. Quote. Itachi stepped beside Pain. Your power reflects your heart. The more you try to suppress who you truly are, the more violent your chakra becomes. Naruto's breathing slowed. The golden black energy faded. He fell to his knees, exhausted. But Pain didn't let him touch the ground. Gravity softened, holding him up. You will rest, Pain said, and tomorrow, your real training begins. The next morning, the mist room. Naruto woke up in a quiet chamber filled with steam, soft candlelight, and warm water trickling down stone walls. It was nothing like the harsh metal training room. Conan knelt beside him. You were unconscious for 9 hours, she said. Your body is not used to channeling that level of power. Naruto rubbed his forehead. What even was that? Conan gently placed a hand over his chest where the seal was. The Kyuubi's chakra always mixes with your emotions. But yesterday, your emotions tapped into something deeper, a dormant force within your soul. Naruto frowned. So, I'm some kind of monster. Conan leaned closer, her voice soft but firm. No, you are a child who suffered alone for too long. Pain is not evil, Naruto. It shapes us, it breaks us, and rebuilds us. Her words soothed him more than he expected. Then the door slid open. Itachi entered. It's time, he said. Naruto blinked. Time for what? Quote. Itachi's Mangekyo flickered. For you to learn control. Training with Itachi, the mind. They entered a vast hall filled with floating candles. Itachi turned toward Naruto. The body can be trained by anyone. But the mind, only someone who understands true suffering can guide you. Naruto gulped. So what do I do? Itachi placed 2 fingers on Naruto's forehead. Don't resist. Naruto's vision shattered. And suddenly, he was standing in a vast, endless black void. Nothing but darkness. Silence. Then, footsteps. Naruto turned. He froze. It was him. A younger version of himself. Crying. Alone. Sitting on a swing at the academy. Watching parents pick up the children. Naruto's throat tightened. Why are you showing me this? You must understand the source of your power, Itachi said, materializing behind him, calm and cold. Naruto watched his younger self staring at the ground as villagers whispered cruel words behind him. Demon. Monster. Curse. Naruto clenched his fists. This hurts. Good. Itachi said softly. Pain teaches truth. The more you deny your past, the more unstable your chakra becomes. The illusion shifted. Now Naruto saw himself, older, struggling to keep control of the Kyuubi. Screaming, clawing the ground, begging it to stop. No more, I don't want to see this anymore. Itachi placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. That is why we are here. To turn your pain into clarity. To turn your fear into purpose. Naruto's heart pounded. So, you're saying this power comes from my feelings? Itachi nodded. The chakra you released yesterday is tied to your emotional core. You must face your pain, embrace it, and master it. Naruto looked at the crying child on the swing. Then I'll accept him. The illusion dissolved. Naruto gasped, returning to the real hall, drenched in sweat. Itachi actually smiled. Just a little. You took your first step. Training with Kisame, the body. Outside, rain hammered a massive training arena. Kisame cracked his knuckles. Alright, kid. Itachi trained your mind, now I'll train your muscles. Naruto gulped. You're not gonna kill me, right? Kisame laughed loudly. Only a little. Naruto didn't know if he was joking. Kisame charged. Samehada roared. Naruto dodged, barely, flipping through the rain. Kisame grinned. You're fast, but not fast enough. Quote. He slammed Samehada down, the ground exploded, water splashing everywhere. Naruto jumped back, forming a Rasengan. But Samehada ate the chakra instantly. Naruto stared in shock. Hey, that's cheating. Quote. Kisame swung again. This is the real world, kid. Adapt or die. Naruto dodged, rolled, sprinted, every muscle burning, but soon, something strange happened. He found a rhythm. Kisame attacked like a tidal wave, heavy, relentless, destructive. Naruto moved like wind, light, fast, unpredictable. Back and forth, strike and dodge, rain turning to steam as chakra flared. Kisame finally leapt back, laughing. Ha, you're getting better already. Quote. Naruto panted. Why you're insane. Kisame winked. You'll thank me later. Training with Konan, the soul. Konan led Naruto into a room filled with thousands of paper sheets. Your chakra affects the environment, she explained. We will test how stable it is. She released her paper wings, hundreds of origami butterflies filled the room. Focus, she said. Try not to disturb any of them. Naruto took a deep breath. Calm. A single paper butterfly landed on his palm. He smiled. Then, a memory flashed. A villager yelling. A child crying. Loneliness. His chakra surged. The butterflies scattered wildly. Konan caught them with ease. Naruto fell to his knees, frustrated. I can't do this. My emotions are too much. Konan knelt beside him. Your emotions are your strength, not your weakness. Learn to live with them, not suppress them. Quote. Naruto closed his eyes. Breath in, breath out. This time, the butterflies returned. Thousands of them, landing on his arms, his head, his shoulders. Conan smiled softly. You're learning, Naruto. Quote, .. 3 days later, the council room. Pain stood before the Akatsuki, his voice echoing. The boy has progressed faster than expected. Kisame nodded proudly. He survived me. That alone means he's a monster. Quote, Itachi added quietly. He learns with his heart. That is rare. Deidara chuckled. He might just be the greatest weapon we ever create. Sasori clicked his puppet fingers. Or the most dangerous. Conan spoke last. He is still fragile, but his potential is extraordinary. Pain concluded. We continue. The world will tremble when he awakens fully. Outside, Naruto overhears everything. He froze behind the pillar. Weapon. Dangerous. World tremble. Those words echoed in his skull. Naruto clenched his fists. Number. I don't want to be a weapon. I want to protect people. But, he also remembered. Konoha's rejection. The fear in Village's eyes. The loneliness. He looked toward the Akatsuki chamber. They're training me, they're helping me, they're the only ones who treat me like I matter. He exhaled slowly. Then I'll prove myself. I'll master this power. And then, I'll decide what kind of person I become. A new fire burned in his eyes. Pain sensed him and turned slightly. Are you ready for the next step, Naruto? Quote, Naruto stepped forward. Yes, train me. I'll keep going. Pain nodded. Then part 1 continues. Naruto's body trembled as the echo of Pain's last words lingered in the cold stone hall. Power shapes peace. Weakness destroys it. He didn't know if Pain was right. He didn't know if the Akatsuki truly sought peace. But he did know one thing. If he wanted to protect Konoha, he needed power greater than anything Jiraiya-sensei could have taught him. And right now, the Akatsuki were the only ones willing to give him that power. Chapter, Training with the Monsters. 1. Pain. The Path of Absolute Focus. Pain began by training Naruto's mind. Not chakra, not taijutsu. His mind. Naruto knelt in the middle of a sealed circle as Pain placed several black chakra receivers around him. Your emotions scatter your power, Pain said. You feel too much. Fear, anger, hope, attachment. To use the Rinnegan's teachings, even indirectly, you must control all emotions. He snapped his fingers. A burst of invisible force slammed into Naruto, Shinra Tensei at its lowest level. Naruto gritted his teeth, blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. Again, Pain said, boom, again, boom, again, boom. Hours passed. Naruto refused to collapse. Pain watched silently, and for the first time he was impressed. This boy, he suffers much like Yahiko did, he whispered to Conan. 2. Itachi, the Path of Perception. Itachi trained Naruto next. A silent room, a single candle, Naruto's breathing the only sound. Close your eyes, Itachi said softly. Naruto obeyed. Itachi extinguished the candle. Total darkness. Tell me, where am I standing? Naruto strained his senses. He couldn't hear footsteps. He couldn't feel chakra. Then suddenly, a whisper behind him. Too slow. Naruto spun, kunai raised. But Itachi wasn't there. Your senses are dull, Naruto. Listen to everything. Feel the world. Itachi activated his Sharingan. A wave of killing intent washed over the room like a freezing wind. Naruto fell to one knee, gasping. You wish to protect everyone, yet you cannot withstand even my intent. It felt like needles piercing his mind. Naruto screamed, and then something inside him snapped. The Kyuubi stirred. Wanna use my power, brat? Let me break this Uchiha's arrogance. Naruto clenched his teeth. No, not your power. My power. Quote, and for the first time. Itachi smiled faintly. You may become far stronger than I imagined. 3. Kisame, the Path of Survival. Oi, Gaki. Kisame swung Samehada toward Naruto. Let's see if you can stay alive. Quote, Naruto narrowly dodged as the blade scraped the wall, devouring chunks of chakra from the air itself. You smell like chakra, Kisame laughed. Samehada's hungry. Naruto created 6 shadow clones. Samehada pulsed with hunger. SHRRAAK. Kisame devoured all 6 clones in one strike. Naruto cursed. Kisame lunged again. Naruto threw a kunai. Kisame caught it in his teeth. Naruto used that moment. Flying Thunder God Proto version. Flash. He appeared behind Kisame and slammed a Rasengan into his back. Kisame stumbled forward, shocked. Well damn. A broad grin split his face. You might actually kill one of us someday. Quote. Naruto wiped sweat from his brow. That's the plan. The fear of the leaf. Meanwhile, back in Konoha. Something was wrong. Too quiet. Too calm. Tsunade slammed her fist on the table. Where is Naruto? Exclamation mark quote. No one had an answer. Not Kakashi. Not Shizune. Not even Jiraiya. Rumors spread like wildfire. Did Akatsuki kidnap him? Did he run away? Did he join them? Jiraiya clenched his fists in silent rage. No matter where they took him, I'll find him. But he was already too late. Naruto was no longer the boy they remembered. Akatsuki's new weapon. After weeks of training, Pain summoned the entire organization. Every member stood on the high pillars of the Dark Chamber. Itachi, Kisame, Deidara, Sasori, Konan, Kakazu, Hiden, Zetsu. Naruto stepped into the center. No orange jacket, no headband, just a black uniform with red cloud markings, tailored for him. Pain spread his arms. Behold, this boy is the future of our peace. Kisame cracked his knuckles. Not bad, Gaki. Deidara scoffed. HMPH. Still ugly, yeah. Konan smiled softly. He has grown. Itachi simply nodded. Naruto looked at all of them. He wasn't family to them. Not truly, but he had gained something he never found in Konoha. Power, purpose, identity. Pain raised his hand. From this day, Naruto Uzumaki will train as one of us. Quote. Naruto inhaled deeply. His heart thumped. Konoha, when I return, I'll return as someone who can change everything. Naruto stood in the middle of the Akatsuki's main chamber, his breath slow and steady, more controlled than ever before. Yet inside him, a storm churned. The Akatsuki members disappeared one by one into the surrounding shadows, leaving only faint echoes of their presence. But Pain did not leave. Instead, he swept his gaze over Naruto with the intensity of someone examining a weapon still being forged. Your potential grows rapidly, Pain said. But you remain incomplete. Naruto's fists tightened. What more do I need to do? Pain turned away. You will see. Konan appeared at his side like a drifting petal, placing a gentle hand on Naruto's shoulder. Rest for now. Training continues tomorrow. But Naruto shook his head. No, I'm ready now. Konan's eyes softened. Power is not gained only through force. Even a blade needs to cool before being sharpened again. Quote. Naruto swallowed hard. She was right, but something burned inside him, a desperate fire he couldn't extinguish. The more he trained with the Akatsuki, the more he realized just how far behind he had been compared to the true monsters of the world. And if he had faced someone like Pain without this training, he would have died instantly. He couldn't let that happen ever again. Not to himself, not to Konoha, not to anyone he cared about. He walked deeper into the hideout, through cold halls lit only by flickering torches. His mind replayed the training sessions, Pain's merciless pressure, Itachi's quiet torment, Kisame's brutal tests. But he wasn't afraid. Not anymore. He reached the central training chamber, a large circular arena sealed with dozens of jutsu markings. A faint shine of chakra lingered on the floor. Konan had followed him silently. You can't push yourself like this, she said softly. The others might, but your body is still human. Naruto raised his right hand. Chakra crackled dangerously across his fingers, interlaced with faint crimson sparks. I don't feel human anymore. Konan paused. She'd known pain, loss, war, but something in his voice unsettled even her. Is that a good thing? Naruto didn't answer. He simply gathered chakra and formed a Rasengan, larger, sharper, infused with strange swirling particles he'd only recently begun to produce. Konan watched the sphere twist violently in his palm. That isn't a normal Rasengan. Naruto nodded. Itachi said it's because of how much pain my body has gone through. My chakra is reacting differently. It's changing. Conan stepped forward, the faint scent of paper and rain surrounding her. Power gained through suffering is unstable. If you continue like this, Naruto cut her off with a whisper. I need to be stronger, before someone else takes everything from me. She understood all too well. Naruto wasn't becoming like the Akatsuki. He already had been like them. Alone, forgotten, misunderstood, broken. They were simply shaping what already existed. Conan closed her eyes briefly. Very well, but let me watch over your training. Naruto gave a faint smile. Thanks. He launched the Rasengan toward the far wall. Boom. The stone exploded, dust filling the air. Conan narrowed her eyes. That power, even Pain hadn't predicted it would grow so fast. Naruto didn't stop. He created 10 clones. Each began forming different jutsu, one lightning-based, one water-based, one wind-based, and one infused with Kurama's chakra. The room hummed with unstable energy. Conan suddenly stepped back. Naruto, wait. Naruto unleashed it. The clash of elements ripped across the chamber, swirling into a chaotic storm of chakra. Craack. The entire arena shuddered, walls fracturing, air vibrating like it might tear apart. Conan raised a shield of paper wings around herself. Naruto held his ground, barely. His clones vanished in a violent shockwave. The energy burst through him backward, slamming him into a cracked pillar. He gasped, blood dripping from his mouth, but he was smiling. Because he was still conscious. Still alive. Still getting stronger. Conan lowered her shield, staring at him with wide eyes. That amount of chakra, no normal human should be able to handle that. Quote, Naruto tried to stand but his legs trembled. Conan quickly moved to support him, her arm slipping under his. You're hurting yourself, she said firmly. Naruto inhaled shakily. It's worth it, she glared softly. Not if you destroy yourself before your destiny arrives. Naruto stared into her eyes. Her concern was real. Not like Konoha's fear, not like the village's hatred. This was the closest thing to care he had felt in a long time. I'm fine, he whispered, though he clearly wasn't. Conan frowned. Sit down. He obeyed immediately, more from exhaustion than agreement. She knelt in front of him, placing her hand over his chest. Chakra flowed from her palm, soothing his overworked muscles. Your heart is beating too fast, she murmured. That's good. Means I'm alive. But Conan shook her head. No, it means you're pushing yourself like Pain once did, back when he nearly died. Quote, Naruto looked up sharply. He almost died. Conan nodded. Chasing power. Trying to become a god too quickly. It cost us everything. Naruto lowered his gaze. I don't want to be a god. I just want to be strong enough that no one can take the people I care about. Quote, Conan smiled sadly. Then take your time, Naruto. Silence filled the room, heavy but strangely peaceful. Suddenly, footsteps echoed behind them. Naruto tensed instantly. Itachi emerged from the shadows, quiet as a ghost. Pain wants to see him, Itachi said gently. Conan helped Naruto stand. He's exhausted. Itachi's expression remained calm. Pain expected that. He wants to test something. Naruto's heart pounded. Test what? Itachi studied him, then spoke words Naruto never expected to hear. Whether you are ready to learn the first secret of the Akatsuki. Naruto's breath caught. Pain never hinted at any secrets. He never even implied the organization had ranks. But if he was being summoned personally, it meant something big. Itachi continued quietly. Follow me. The next stage of your training begins now. Naruto wiped the blood from his mouth. His exhaustion vanished beneath a rising, fierce determination. He stepped forward. Let's go. The moonlight shimmered against the cliffside as Naruto stood in the center of a cracked stone arena, breathing softly. His orange jacket was gone, replaced with a dark cloak, not the full Akatsuki cloak, but a modified training version. It fluttered with each surge of chakra. Across from him stood Itachi, eyes calm, unreadable, Sharingan spinning slowly. Again, Itachi said. Naruto's fists tightened. His muscles burned from hours of non-stop training, but he didn't complain. If he wanted to master what the Akatsuki were teaching him, he had no room for weakness. He shot forward, wind chakra bursting from his feet. Itachi barely moved, he simply shifted one step, letting Naruto's punch pass through an afterimage. A genjutsu. Naruto clicked his tongue. Suddenly, the world shattered back to reality as Naruto dispelled it with a small flare of Nine Tails chakra. Good, Itachi said. You break illusions faster than most Uchiha. Naruto smirked slightly. Course I do. If I don't, Kisame will drown me again. From the shadows, Kisame grinned, same had resting on his shoulder. That was only once, Kisame said. You should be grateful. Builds character. Builds pneumonia, Naruto muttered. Pain's philosophy and Naruto's burden. Later, Naruto was summoned to another chamber, dark, cold, lined with ancient statues. Pain stood there, the Deva path motionless, his ripple pattern eyes glowing like an otherworldly dread. Sit, Pain ordered. Naruto obeyed. You have power, Pain said. Unrefined, reckless, but immense. Why do you seek strength? Naruto didn't hesitate. I want to protect my village. I want everyone to feel safe, free from loneliness. Pain's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Pain creates understanding, he said. Do you believe peace can be achieved without suffering? Naruto didn't answer immediately this time. I think pain makes you grow. But I don't want people to suffer like I did. Quote, a dangerous silence filled the room. Then you must be strong enough to bear their pain for them, Pain said. We will test that resolve. The lights dimmed. Suddenly, black receivers of chakra erupted from the floor, binding Naruto in midair. What the? Pain stepped forward. Endure this without using the Nine Tails. And the agony began. Conan's lesson, control your mind, control your power. Hours later, Naruto lay on the ground, sweat dripping, breath ragged. Conan knelt beside him, placing a cool paper seal on his forehead. You held back the Nine Tails longer than I expected, she said. But your emotions, they cloud you. Naruto closed his eyes, exhausted. I'm trying, but it's hard. Conan placed a hand on his chest. You do not need to erase your emotions, only understand them. Paper is fragile, until folded with purpose. She extended her palm. Thousands of glowing origami papers formed a massive, angelic pair of wings behind her. Purpose transforms weakness into strength. Naruto stared, mesmerized. Teach me. Conan nodded. A new technique, the Wind God Dance. 3 weeks passed. Naruto stood on a lake at dawn, focusing chakra into his palms. Itachi and Conan watched from afar. Wind swirled around Naruto's arms, spiraling upward into a storm-like formation. Water beneath him rippled violently. Conan whispered, Itachi, he's progressing faster than we predicted. Quote, Itachi narrowed his eyes. His potential is unpredictable, dangerous, even to us. Suddenly Naruto thrust his arms forward. Wind style, Wind God Dance. A slicing vortex shot forward like a rotating hurricane, slicing straight through a row of stone pillars, clean, perfect cuts. Naruto panted, but he was smiling wide. Conan's eyebrows raised. That's beyond A rank. Itachi added quietly, he's nearly ready for the next phase. Naruto turned around, curious. Next phase. Itachi walked forward slowly. Your next trainer. A massive shadow fell over the lake. A monstrous chakra surged. Killer intent washed through the air like a tidal wave. Naruto spun around, and froze. Standing on top of the water was none other than Obito Uchiha. His single Sharingan glowed beneath the swirled mask. Let's see, Obito said, voice cold, if you're worthy of the future Akatsuki has planned. The air cracked with a pressure Naruto had never felt before. And Naruto realized, this was only the beginning. The lake became unnaturally still the moment Obito Uchiha appeared. Even the air felt heavier, as if reality itself was bending under the weight of his chakra. Naruto's breath caught as the masked man stepped forward, each movement silent but carrying overwhelming intent. Itachi and Conan both retreated into the mist, not out of fear, but because this was a different kind of training. One only Obito could deliver. Naruto swallowed hard. You're Obito. The mask tilted slightly. I'm the one who will drag out the true power inside you. Without warning, Obito blurred. Naruto barely saw the movement before a fist smashed into his gut, sending him skidding across the water like a stone. He barely caught his balance, gasping. You rely too much on instinct, Obito said, voice deep and echoing. Strength isn't wild, it's sharpened. Naruto wiped the blood from his lip. Fine then, let's go. Quote, wind chakra flooded his fists as he launched forward. But he hit nothing. His punch passed straight through Obito's intangible form. Kamui. Naruto gritted his teeth. That stupid teleport. Obito appeared behind him instantly. Bam! A brutal kick cracked Naruto's ribs and sent him tumbling into the lake. Underwater silence swallowed him. His lungs screamed, but he forced his body up again, coughing. Obito stood above the water surface, unmoving. You charge without thinking. Naruto spat water out. Then show me how to fix it. Obito's real training, war, trauma, and emotion control. Obito raised his palm and space distorted around Naruto, pulling him toward a swirling void, the entrance to Kamui's pocket dimension. Naruto dug his heels into the water, wind chakra exploding downward to anchor himself. Good, Obito said. Lesson 1, resist the pull of fate. Naruto roared, wind blasting from his back like jets, and forced himself free of the vortex. Obito nodded slightly. Again, the vortex expanded. Naruto countered with a giant spiraling wind burst. Wind burst, cross-release. The lake exploded upward in a towering pillar of water. Ripples raced across the valley. But Obito still didn't move. You have raw power, Obito said, but no understanding. Then Obito appeared directly in front of him, placing one finger on Naruto's forehead. A flash. Naruto's mind, forced into a nightmare. Everything turned red. The Nine Tails cage appeared, shaking violently. Red chakra burned the air like fire. The fox snarled, slamming against the bars. Naruto stepped back in shock. Why am I here? Quote. Obito's voice echoed across the mental world. To control power, you must confront the memories you fear most. Naruto's surroundings twisted. Now he was in a dark alley. Cold, hungry, alone. Villagers whispered, look at him, the demon brat. Don't touch him, monster. Naruto's hands trembled. Obito appeared beside him. You carry all this pain, but you've never used it. Naruto clenched his teeth. I don't want to use my pain. Quote, then it will always control you. The ground cracked as a monstrous roar thundered. The Nine Tails burst into view, overflowing with hatred and killing intent. Naruto stumbled back. Obito's voice boomed. Lesson 2, dominate your own fear, or drown in it. The Nine Tails lunged. Naruto braced himself, and punched forward with everything inside him. The impact shook the mindscape. Shockwaves ripped through the sky. The fox skidded backward, crashing into the cage bars. Naruto roared, I'm done running from this. Chains of wind chakra exploded from Naruto's arms, wrapping around the Nine Tails like a storm made of razors. The fox struggled, then finally went still, its eyes locked on Naruto with reluctant respect. Obito appeared again. Well done. You didn't defeat it, but you made it listen. Naruto fell to one knee, shaking. I'm not finished, he gasped. And that, Obito said, is why you might survive what comes next. Naruto awakens, a new power appears. Naruto snapped awake in the real world, collapsing onto the lake surface. But something was different. Wind chakra spiraled around him in a controlled, circular flow. A new aura. Refined. Sharp. Electric. Conan's eyes widened. His chakra, it's no longer unstable. Itachi's Sharingan glowed as he murmured. He has achieved wind stabilization, something even advanced Jonin struggle with. Naruto clenched his fists. Wind didn't explode anymore. It danced around him. Obeyed him. He could feel every movement. Obito stepped forward. Lesson 3 starts tomorrow. Naruto looked up. What's lesson 3? Obito's voice dropped low, serious and cold. How to kill a Hokage. The entire valley froze. Even the wind stopped. Naruto's eyes widened, but he stayed silent. Because deep inside, he knew. To protect his future. To protect Konoha. To protect everything he loved. He needed to understand the enemy better than anyone else. And the Akatsuki would make sure he did. Later that night, a private conversation. Naruto sat on a high cliff, staring at the moon, exhausted but unable to sleep. Itachi approached quietly. You handled Obito better than most, he said softly. Naruto didn't look up. He's crazy. Itachi gave a faint smile. Perhaps. But in war, even the unstable have wisdom. Naruto finally turned. Why are you helping me? You and the Akatsuki, all of you, what do you want from me? Quote. Itachi looked at the sky. We want to shape the future. Some through peace, some through control, some through destruction. He paused. But you're someone who can break every path. Naruto blinked. Break every path. Itachi nodded slowly. You could surpass all of us. That is why we train you. Not to turn you into a weapon, but because the world will need someone stronger than all its darkness combined. Quote. Naruto looked away. His chest tightened. Itachi placed a hand on his shoulder. Rest. Tomorrow will push you to your limit. Naruto nodded weakly. As Itachi vanished into the night, Naruto whispered to himself. I'll survive. I'll get stronger. And I'll protect everyone, no matter what Akatsuki throws at me. The next morning, the impossible test begins. When Naruto arrived at the training grounds, he froze completely. Waiting for him, standing side by side, were Obito, Itachi, Kisame, Konan, and Pain himself. The air cracked with divine pressure. Naruto's heart pounded. Pain stepped forward. Your final challenge of Part 1, he said, his Rinnegan glowing like the eyes of a god, is to survive 5 minutes against the Akatsuki. Naruto swallowed hard. Kisame grinned, Samehada quivering with excitement. Itachi's Sharingan spun silently. Konan's papers formed wings. Obito cracked the air with Kamui's vortex. Pain lifted a single hand. And gravity shook. Naruto raised his fists. Wind aura swirling like a storm. His voice was steady. Let's do this. The ground ruptured. The sky darkened. And the Akatsuki charged. The 5-minute survival test begins. The sky trembled as the entire Akatsuki surged toward Naruto. 5 minutes. That was the challenge. 5 minutes against monsters who could destroy nations. Pain raised his hand. Almighty push. A wave of crushing gravity blasted forward. Naruto slammed his palms together, forming spiraling wind barriers. Wind fortress. The shockwave met the cyclone of wind and detonated, shattering trees and ripping apart the ground. Naruto skidded back, coughing, but still standing. Kisame leapt through the dust, Samehada roaring with hunger. Let's see how much chakra you really have, brat. Naruto twisted midair and launched a wind-boosted kick. Kisame blocked. The shockwave cracked the earth. Samehada screeched in pain. Kisame's grin widened. Hey, now that's power. Before Naruto could land, Konan's paper spears descended like rain. Naruto spun, wind encircling him in a protective whirlwind. Each paper spear vaporized on contact. But then, Itachi appeared behind him, silent, unavoidable. Naruto felt the genjutsu sharpen around his mind like 1,000 needles. Break it, Itachi whispered. Naruto roared, wind chakra exploding outward. And shattered the illusion. Itachi's eyes widened faintly. He broke it instantly, without seals. Naruto panted heavily. 1 minute gone. 4 to go. The battle escalates. Obito phased in and out around him, attacking from impossible angles. Pain shot gravitational blasts and chakra rods. Kisame attacked with oceans of water. Konan with storms of paper bombs. Itachi with genjutsu precision. And Naruto used wind to dodge, deflect, amplify, and counter. His feet barely touched the ground. Wind wrapped around him like armor. Like wings. Like a living entity. He wasn't fighting anymore. He was flowing. Itachi murmured. He's adapting to every angle. Konan. He's reading the battlefield with instinct alone. Pain. No, not instinct. His Rinnegan glowed. He is evolving. The turning point. At the 4-minute mark, Naruto collapsed to one knee. Bleeding, exhausted, breath sharp. Wind collapsed around him. Kisame. Done already. Pain raised his hand. Almighty Pooh, stop. Naruto's roar split the air. Wind surged upward in a pillar of blinding white. The pressure blew Kisame off his feet. Konan shielded her face with wings. Pain dug his heels into the earth. Itachi's eyes widened. Obito's mask cracked slightly. The wind pillar twisted into a giant vortex. And then, Naruto emerged. Refined, glowing with controlled wind chakra. Harmonic, balanced, razor sharp. A new transformation. Not Sage mode. Not QB mode. Wind ascendant state. The air bowed around him. Even Pain stepped back. Naruto raised one finger at Pain. Don't underestimate me, Pain whispered, almost amused. So, the boy rises. The final minute, Naruto's awakening. With his new state activated, Naruto tore through the battlefield. He vanished and reappeared with wind-boosted speed that matched Obito's flickers. His strikes sliced through Kisame's water pillars. He cut Konan's paper bombs before they ignited. He avoided Itachi's gaze without losing focus. He resisted Pain's gravity with raw chakra control. Each second he survived was a miracle. At the last 10 seconds, Pain floated up, preparing a village-destroying blast. Planetary almighty push. Obito stepped forward. Itachi stepped back. Konan froze. Kisame grinned. Naruto gathered the final remnants of his strength. Wind spiraled upward. A storm formed. Wind release. Tyrant maelstrom. He fired a colossal wind cannon upward. The shock wave split the clouds. Pain's attack shattered. The earth cracked wide open. The 5-minute mark sounded. A bell Konan released into the air. Silence. The wind settled. Naruto dropped to his knees, gasping, barely conscious. But alive. The Akatsuki's verdict. Pain landed in front of him. You endured. Few in the world could. Naruto looked up weakly. I'm not done yet. Pain's expression didn't change, but his voice did. Part 1 ends here. Itachi stepped beside him. You have surpassed expectations. Konan, your resolve is frightening. Kisame laughed, slapping Samehada. Kid, you're a monster. Obito appeared last, the air twisting around him. He crouched beside Naruto. You didn't just survive, you grew. He placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. PART-2 begins with truth. And your first real descent into the darkness you'll one day conquer. Naruto, bruised and half-conscious, whispered. I'll keep growing, until I'm strong enough to protect everyone. Pain nodded. Thank you.